Torah tells us in this week's Parshas about the various types, various categories of shomrim, of people who are watchmen or watching over another's object, and what their obligations are depending on the particular relationship. And one of the psukim tells us, Ki yitain ish areyehu kesef o kelim lishmor. You're given over an object, a pikadon as we call it, something to watch for somebody else, so you're not allowed to use it. If it's stolen, then you have to swear shalosh shalach bo yad, that you did not use the object and that it was stolen, and then you're no longer responsible if you were an unpaid watchman. The Rav Zichron Livracha, in this psukim of Shomrim, saw a very deep and penetrating and powerful lesson I wanted to share. Because he said the truth is, in life, we are the pikadon. We are simply an object that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has placed into the world. We are the property of Hashem. And He makes us, and He gives us rules, and He tells us how we are supposed to be living. Haneshama lach v'aguf shalach. Our souls, our bodies belong to Him. And the process that we go through on the Yom Noraim is that process of im lo shalach yado b'melachas, im lo shalach yado. Was there shlichas yad? Did we do something incorrect? Is there something that we need to atone for? He's the one who gives the directive of how the objects can be used and should be used. And the Rav brings a very difficult Gemara, but teaches a very, very powerful lesson from that Gemara. Because the Gemara tells us that Rabbi Meir and his wife Bruria had beautiful children, 2 beautiful boys, and they died of a particular illness on one Shabbos. And Bruria did not want to reveal to Rabbi Meir on Shabbos that their children had perished. She did not want to take away from Shabbos. But after Havdalah, Bruria related the following mashal to Rabbi Meir in order to get the message across. And she posed it as a halachic question. And she said, some time ago, a certain man came and left 2 diamonds in my trust as a pikadon. And now he has called for them. Shall I return them to him or not? And only after Rabbi Meir replied in the affirmative, of course you have to return it. It doesn't belong to you. Did she reveal the awful news to Rabbi Meir that pikadon, those two diamonds that had been left, were our 2 children. Now, as moving as the story is, the question posed by Bruria seems trivial, and it seems so obvious. What's the depth of the mashal that Bruria was giving? And the Rav explained as follows. So we need to think a little bit more deeply about the analogy. And he says that a mysterious stranger, his face hidden behind a dark cloak, knocks on Bruria's door. And as she opens the door, the stranger silently thrusts a small box into her hand and disappears into the darkness. And she opens it up, and inside are 2 beautiful diamonds. But she's puzzled because she doesn't know, is this person returning? Does he want it back? Am I watching the diamonds for him? Or is he giving it to me as a gift? So she decides, I'll wait a few weeks and I'll see if the person returns to claim the diamonds. And she takes good care of them. And weeks, months, and years pass. And the stranger has not reappeared. And Bruria thinks to herself that maybe they were a gift. Maybe they're mine. Maybe the stranger is no longer alive, and perhaps it's my gift. And on a fateful Shabbos, years later, Bruria startled again to hear a knock at the door. And she quickly dons her robe and answers the door. And the mysterious stranger with that hidden face is back, grabs the diamonds from her hand, and once again quickly and silently disappears. That's the story, says the Rav, that the Bruria was telling Rabbi Meir. Because unlike a normal pikadon, where an item is held in safekeeping for a specific period of time, the period of safekeeping of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's pikadon is open-ended. And he's that hidden stranger. And we don't always know. Well, maybe it's my gift. Maybe it belongs to me. And then we start thinking of it naturally, the things that we have, the possessions that we own, the talents, we think of them as our own. And we no longer view it as a pikadon. And sometimes only under the most tragic of circumstances are we forced to confront the fact that God did not give it to us as a gift, but He gave it to us as a pikadon. It's a moving and powerful, at the same time difficult concept that we need to try to remember, to appreciate the gifts that HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us. But the truth is, those gifts are not gifts in the classic sense. They are not ours to do what we want with. They are entrusted to us. Everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us, our health, our family, our money, whatever it may be, is a pikadon. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to see what we do with it. And hopefully, if we use those pikdonos, if we use that which HaKadosh Baruch Hu has put in our safekeeping in the way that He wants, then hopefully He blesses us, that we don't have to, Rahman al experience the tragedy of a buria, to remember that it's a pikadon, but we always understand that it comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We want to use it in the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives it to us, the way He wants us to. We don't want to be sholeach yad. And in that sense, hopefully, He won't need to come and claim them, and we will be able to use them in order to get closer and closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu.